have a confession. I almost don't record this episode. It's getting late. It's getting darker. I'm not going to have the best light for this episode. Number 8 out of 10 that I have to do because I promised myself and because I promised God that I would finish this season number 1 of this new podcast that I felt called to do. It's not really that I'm struggling with ideas or that I don't have time. I'm actually putting myself in a very strict schedule to record this video today and edit this video today, and tomorrow I have to record another episode and edit that episode as well because travel vlogs are coming. Yoo-hoo! We are traveling and I'm excited about that, but I want to be a responsible person, a responsible creator, a responsible worker as well, and a responsible traveler and mother as well. So I want to have all my material for the podcast already done so I can be able to travel and work at the same time, because I will be recording content for the blog, of course, but I don't want to be dealing with editing these episodes, etc. I've been doing the thing in a very well organized way to have time for everything. But I've also been procrastinating a lot to end the season, to finish these 10 episodes. And today I found myself in a moment where I cannot say I'll do it tomorrow, because I've been saying that. I'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow becomes the next day and the next day and the next day. And I don't have any more time. I have a deadline just right now. And you know what? We call it procrastination. But I've been really wondering, what if procrastination isn't the problem here? What if it's only the symptom? Because I don't think that I'm lazy. And you, from your side, when these things happens to you, you're not lazy. We're not lazy here. But I think we are protecting ourselves from something. If you've been following this series of podcasts of the Woman's Talk, you know how much I'm glowing because of my Sweet Gratitude body butter, created with the most organic and perfect ingredients to moisturize and nourish your skin to make you look beautiful, confident, and go out there and rock it in the world. I take care of myself and my whole body, my whole skin, even my face and my whole body, once again, with my Sweet Gratitude body cream. And I'm so happy to be partnering with her. The creator is a she, because of the whole story behind the brand that you are going to be getting to know more in the last episode. So in the meantime, you can get yours in the link in the description down below. So today I'm going to be completely honest with everything that I'm feeling with this podcast right now, because it's exactly what I'm doing with the podcast itself. Every single episode is actually making me go through my inner emotions, my inner self, and navigate how I feel according to the thing that I'm going to talk about. Most of these episodes, almost all of them, the topics were selected by you. For the ones who have been following me on Instagram at Cabrera music and answer my questions in Instagram about what do you want to hear. So we are doing this together. So I promised myself 10 podcasts, one after the other. And I did feel this. I think I shared it already, but the whole idea of this podcast came in the middle of a prayer. I was having my conversation with God, and I felt that I needed to do this one after the other, which it sounds a little crazy for my YouTube algorithm, because I've been sharing my travel vlogs, my mom travel, my days here at my home, and other type of content. Once in a while, I would sit in front of the camera and do something like this podcast thing. But of course, this creates like a whole different wave of what the algorithm is used to, what my current audience are used to as well. So it wasn't going to be easy. I've been going through a big transition in my content creation, which I do honor and I do respect a lot, even though I have a lot of people on the other side that are doubting the progress of my channel, that are telling me, go and do something else because your channel is dying. I'm really standing strong in this thing that I felt that I needed to do, even if I'm not seeing the greatest results, even if sometimes I can ask myself, do I have to trust them? Or whatever that can be happening in the outside, I know what I'm doing this. I know I have to do 10 episodes because it's I promise I did to myself and I did to God. And I know He's expecting me to be obedient and I want to be obedient in this. So whatever the outcome, if it goes well, if it goes wrong, all of that is behind my own promise to myself and with God. And my obedience, it doesn't matter if the last episode of these 10 episodes, it's only 10 episodes for now. I keep doing this, but travel vlogs are coming back, and and the rest of the content that I was creating before, it's coming, because I never said that I was drastically changing my whole content and I will never travel again, I will never blog again, I will never do any of the other things. I never said this, but I really needed to do this switch in how I was doing content, and that was like a big storm, in my content creation, in the things that the audience are receiving from me. And many of them look disappointed. Many of them look like they have nothing to do with me anymore. But also new audience are showing up and are appearing at. And also my analytics are giving me that information. So in the middle of the storm, a lot is happening. A lot that I cannot see and a lot that you cannot see neither. And really all of that strong faith that I'm having and that I'm forcing myself to have, because of course sometimes I really doubt. But then I get comments like this one saying, great content, continue doing what God had designed for you to share. You are attracting the right viewers. Not everyone will be on your vibration to receive your content. So I'm in the middle of two big opinions, and that's okay. I know what I'm getting myself into, and I don't know the outcome of any of this that I'm doing. But somehow I know I'm going in a slow pace on the right path. I wanted this episode to be more about being authentic, because that's something that I get a lot of compliments for. But honestly, I don't know what it's going to look like at the end, where I'm actually finished talking. The thing is, sometimes God asks us to move into a new season. And we know what we have to do. Or maybe we don't know all the steps. We just know the next move only. But how many of us, we ask for permission to change? How many of us, we feel that call to do something else, something new? And the first step that we do, we start to stumble, because all of those that were benefiting from that old version of ourselves are now complaining. Here is something that I want to tell you. You are allowed to become someone new. I realized that I spent years of my life trying to become a better version of myself. And sometimes God wasn't asking me to necessarily become better. Maybe He was asking me to become more honest. And those are not the same thing. Today we are going to talk about identity. Because I think that Sometimes women don't know who they really are. We know who our parents want us to be, who our partner preferred. We know what social media rewards. But somewhere along the way, we stopped asking, who am I when nobody's watching? When I was a little, I thought that adults have everything figured out. And I really wanted to become an adult to be able to do A, B, C, D. And then I became an adult and I realized that everyone is just improvising. I noticed that every season of life gives you permission to become someone new. But somehow, we keep asking people from our whole life for permission. Have you ever noticed that we celebrate when people reinvent themselves until someone that is actually close to us changes? Some of us can be celebrating Rocio. Wow, she's doing great in this and this, in her new season, new life, different country, different situation, etc. But what about when it's your son, your daughter, your best friend that is changing? Probably upgrading her life or his life at some point, but it doesn't benefit you anymore. The harder part about changing isn't really changing, but it's surviving people's memories of who you used to be. The people that are complaining the most about my new podcast idea are the ones who want me to be in a different country making different content. I really think that I was procrastinating for this episode. I'm almost getting to the final. I'm so close to finish what I have to do. And I thought that it was because I wasn't very motivated. But now I understand that I'm procrastinating when I secretly know that I want to do something perfect. I spent minutes planning the episode, arranging the space, even organizing and cleaning everything before start pressing record here, and creating the notes and everything instead of doing thing. Sometimes planning feels safer than starting. And if I have to look inward and ask myself what is happening with me here, it's just the fact that fear don't walk into our life saying, hey, hello, I'm fear, I'm here to make your life awful. Fear many times comes dressed up. Let's organize a little bit more. Let's plan a little bit more. I'm not comfortable with this episode the way it looks. Let me change it a little bit. Maybe I start tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I feel more inspired. I'm not so confident today. I don't think I want to talk to the camera. Maybe another day. But here I am, having to be responsible. It's not that I don't have options. I do. I can quit. I can just disappear with no final season if I wanted to. But I would definitely be disappointing myself, failing myself, dishonoring myself, disrespecting myself, and many more things, and failing my promise to God, which is way more important. The thing is, God is inviting me into a new season where this is the content that I must offer to people. And He's not promising me 500,000 views. He's not promising me 5 times my salary extra. And He's not promising me 100,000 subscribers neither for doing this. But I know that I am becoming someone new while I do this whole process. The other day I explained, I think I did in another previous episode, but I remember sharing this on the internet, the fact that now I am doing this podcast. And 3 years ago when I was in Mexico, I had this dream or big intention of starting my podcast in Spanish. I record 5 episodes and I just drop it there. And the thing is, even recording the first episode was very difficult, and it was just my voice. There was no camera. I got the microphone, I got all the gear that I needed to start. And then it took me a lot of time to actually do it. And I found myself like, okay, maybe I'm not ready. This is not the time. I was starting to record and starting to talk, and it was very difficult. And even though I've been with a microphone my whole life singing, but this time was a little bit different because I wanted to talk and to expose myself in a different way, but still communicating and using my voice, whatever. The thing is, I noticed that I took that first step. I recorded 5 episodes. I had a small experience into podcasting, and then life just passed. And I found myself today, like 3+ years more, when I'm actually I sit here, I just turn this microphone, I turn camera, which is also an extra because now you see me, you can see my face and everything. And just this podcasting flows in a very different way. And I'm even doing it in a different language that is not even my native language. So 3 years ago, I was saying that I was not ready, and then I stopped it. And then in the silence and in the stop and the life moving in a very different way and a lot of very different things happening to me, today I am someone that is absolutely ready for this podcast. But the thing is that my old identity still argues with me. When you working into becoming someone new, someone that will benefit everything in your life, someone that God is calling you to be, that will happen. Maybe if you have always been the shy girl, the people pleaser, the woman that never speaks, the woman who always plays small, your mind will try to protect that identity because it's familiar, even if it's not longer who you are becoming. And that's why sometimes changing is exhausting. You're not really changing just your habits, you're changing your identity. As I'm using this podcast itself as a big example of what I'm actually going through, because probably if I have to do another episode and talk about these topics, maybe, I don't know, 3 weeks from now, when season number 1 is already finished, I will probably have more integrated everything that I'm experiencing, and maybe I would also have an outcome of this. But as I'm going through, this is exactly how I'm feeling. And there's something that challenged me a lot. And it's the fact that I don't really need courage to do this podcast, to take this action that will confuse all my audience, that will make a lot of people not to click on my videos anymore, but will make new ones that will come in a slower pace and will receive something from me, and women out there that need to hear something of all of these things that I'm saying. The thing is, we want certainty most of the time. As I was saying, okay, God, I make 10 episodes, but what am I getting in return? You know, are you promising me extreme success in this? That's what we want most of the time. We want to know that if we launch that business, it will work. If we leave the relationship, we'll be okay. It's gonna be a good decision. If we move to another city, it will be the right decision. If I obey God, will everything make sense? But if there's something that I'm learning in this amazing manual for life that the Bible is that faith never worked like that. How many men in the stories of the Bible, they had to walk first with faith and understand later. At the moment that I feel that actually I am ready for this podcast. Then I started to ask myself, like, what would I do today if I stop waiting to feel ready? Confidence isn't something that you discover, but it's something that you build after you take the first step. Recording this episode was very difficult at the beginning. Now I feel more relaxed. I don't know if it's making a lot of sense, but, but I'm enjoying it at least. But the thing is, because sometimes my own expectations become heavier than anybody else. My own expectations become heavier than those telling me, do something different. You're losing subscribers. I do want all of this episode from 1 to 10 to be something meaningful. I want to say something that will help someone. I want every single video that I post to matter. And sometimes all of those expectations are the biggest reason why I stumble to press record. So I wonder if you've ever done the same. Maybe not with YouTube, but maybe with your dream, with your job application, with your business, with your art, with that idea that you have in mind, with that conversation that you own someone, with that coffee meeting that you've been avoiding, or even with your healing. So honestly, I noticed that maybe procrastination isn't about how disciplined I am in everything that I'm doing, or how much I keep my own word. But sometimes it's a hidden fear. Maybe it's about the identity. Maybe it's about who I am becoming and who I need to stop asking permission. Maybe it's not about perfection. This week, don't try to change your whole life. Just ask yourself one question. What's one thing that you have been postponing because you were waiting to feel ready? And then do 5 minutes of it. And it's not because 5 minutes will change your life overnight, but because action has a way of pushing fear away that too much thinking never will. It's dark outside. And I'm not gonna have the best light, but I did it. I record this episode and I do hope I said something meaningful. And I hope, I laugh because when I share my own experience and how I navigate life and what I learn from it and what I'm able to discover while I'm recording about myself and about life, this is the reason why I laugh, because I'm learning here with you. Even this is not necessarily like a teaching. So I'm not giving classes to anyone. It's just sharing experiences, but at the same time realizing this is my kind of therapy right now. But I do hope I said something meaningful to you and that you were able to enjoy this episode as much as I did when I finally pressed record. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye.